All right, Spurs beat the Chicago Bulls 121 to 117 points. We'll get to the player stats and the full team stats in a second here. It's easy to talk about Wemby. Wemby hits the two huge clutch threes down the stretch. He scored, I want to say, at least 15 points in just the fourth quarter alone. He started off the game really hot as well. So amazing performance by Wemby. But we do win 121 to 117. We out rebound the Bulls only by 2 rebounds. Didn't seem anything crazy. Assists, we have one more assist than the Bulls, so rebounds and assists are really close. Both teams have exactly 10 steals. We do have 3 more blocks than the Bulls. There was a stat. I think Wemby's averaging 4.8 blocks, and the Bulls were averaging like 5.5 blocks as an entire team. So I'm pretty sure there are teams in the NBA right now where Wemby's averaging more blocks than the entire team, which is crazy. We're probably going to win the block battle more nights than we don't. We do have 3 more turnovers than the Bulls, but we looked pretty good taking care of the ball out there. We'll get into the numbers again in a sec. I think De'Aaron Fox may have had 5 or 6 turnovers out there, so we still getting his feet back underneath him. I guess his feet are underneath him, but just getting more used to playing in our offense. We only had him for maybe, did he even play 20 games with us last season? I think he played maybe in between 10 or 20 games, but the point is, De'Aaron Fox hasn't really gotten used to playing with all the guys out there, so he's just getting more and more comfortable as time goes on. We shoot 51%, the Bulls shoot 44%. May have been the story of the game. I mean, we outshot them going down the stretch. We just have the big fourth quarter, and our defense clamps up, and the Bulls' offense kind of poops out down the stretch of the fourth quarter. Chicago shoots 42%. We shoot 30% from three. Our 3 point shooting seems to be kind of up and down. It's been a little concerning, the 3 point shooting and the turnovers here early in the season, even though are we 8-2 after this game? I believe we're 8-2. We're shooting 35% on the season as an entire team for San Antonio, so that's pretty league average. I think it's about 36% or so would be your league average. So, watching the games, it feels like we can be kind of a poor 3 point shooting team at times, but looking at our average, we're really not. We're not like a 3 point heavy team where we're trying to win games just off 3 point shooting. It's just a tool that we have in our offensive arsenal, and we're able to win games with 3 point shooting if we need to. If teams are leaving us open and we have those open looks, we'll gladly take them. But I mean, we can win games beyond the arc. We can win games in the paint. It's more our physicality and just getting our guards into the paint to set up our big men, set up Wembanyama. That's really more our winning recipe is just defense, getting out on the fast break, and then running offense through Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox, Wembanyama when we are in the half court. And again, 3 point shooting just a tool we have on our arsenal, but it's not like, of course, it's not like we can't shoot 30% and still win the game because we just did it for this game. So we're not live or die on the three ball. We shoot 85% from the line. Chicago shoots 83%, so nothing crazy on the free throw battle. I always like to see our second chance points because we're a pretty crazy offensive rebounding team. Again, we had 2 more rebounds than the Bulls. We'll check the offensive rebounds in a second here, but we beat them just by 2 points in the second chance point, so it wasn't a huge thing. It's not like second chance points won us the game. We do have 4 more fast break points. Those are the 2 stats I really like to look at, after our games because we usually win the second chance and the fast break points battle. We did win those tonight, but it wasn't the reason we won the game. Honestly, the reason we won the game was our defense turned up and Wemby just fucking took over like a god down the stretch. But we'll get to him in a second. We're 58 or 56. Yeah, 58 points in the paint. So I take it back. We won because Wemby and our defense down the stretch. We won because we were pretty dominant in the paint there. We'll go ahead and get to the player stats, but just off the top of my head, Stephon Castle and Luke Cornett are becoming best friends. They have a crazy connection off the pick and rolls. Stephon Castle had back-to-back lobs to Luke Cornett in the last 2 minutes of the game for dunks to Luke Cornett. Luke Cornett was making some really great plays as the roll man when he catches the ball rolling around the free throw line. He had one in the fourth quarter where he kicks out to Wemby for a really big three. Kelly Olynyk only played 3 minutes, but he had the 2 assists in his 3-4 minutes he played. And same thing with Olynyk, even though it was limited minutes, I liked what I saw from him. When he was the roll man, he would just kind of catch the ball. He's a veteran. Cornett's a veteran. They catch the ball. They go nice and slow at their own pace. They read the floor really quick and decide, do I have an easy dunk? Should I kick out, like Cornet, for example, out to Wemby for an open three? Cornet and Olynyk are just great veterans for us. Of course, Luke Cornet's the better player. He's going to play the bulk of the minutes, but we can find spaces to use Kelly Olynyk out there, and I'm sure Mitch Johnson will just kind of keep working on the rotations, and we'll get it down because we don't so much have an exact rotation we want to play. And once Dylan Harper comes back, we're going to have to kind of shake things up again anyway. We'll start with Luke Cornet. Luke Cornet was probably the most impressive player other than Victor Wembanyama just watching the game. Our boy finishes with 16 points. He's 6 for 6 from the field. He's +8. It seems like he always has a positive plus minus whenever he's out there. He has the 7 points, 2 assists. He had a big block. I'm pretty sure his block was in the fourth quarter as well. So Luke Cornet's amazing out there. He only has the 2 assists, but one was that big assist to Wemby for the corner three in the fourth quarter. Just like I said a second ago, Olynyk and Cornet are spectacular with their playmaking. They're just great veterans to be playmakers out of the pick and roll. I think he can hit the three ball just a little bit if he has to, and then Kelly Olynyk is a better three-point shooter. We haven't really seen it up to this point in the season, but we do have him out there if we want to run him kind of as a stretch four out there. Um, Luke Cornet, I think I said before, him and Stephon Castle are becoming best friends really fast. They have a great chemistry in the pick and roll. Stephon Castle threw the back-to-back lobs to Luke Cornet, and that was huge for us down the stretch. So I love what Luke Cornet's bringing to the team. We were desperate for a backup big man last season. We were desperate for, a starting point guard as well. Chris Paul did good things for us, but needless to say, he's not De'Aaron Fox. And, we filled those two needs so well. It How badly we're missing a center, it's so glaring now that we see how Luke Cornet looks out there, and seeing Luke Cornet out there kind of just reminds us what we were missing last season because it was just a gigantic hole at the center position behind Victor Wembanyama. Keldon Johnson's been great. There was a play, it was the second or third quarter. He gets a rebound and whoo, whoo, he's fucking barking at dudes out there. I love Keldon. He is a dog. He has the 10 points, the 7 rebounds out there, 3 offensive rebounds. I say it every single video. Keldon, last year he was kind of working his way into his role, but there would still be times when I'd see breakdowns from Keldon defensively, not really focused. He would take some bad shots on offense at times. I feel like there'd be times with Keldon last year where maybe he hadn't taken a shot in a while, so he'll just take a bad shot just because he hadn't shot in a little while. There's times I'll see, even this season, there was a play against, he ended up making the shot. It was against Jalen Smith. I'm not sure exactly how tall Jalen Smith is, but he's bigger than Keldon Johnson. Keldon gets the ball in the post. It was a play where he barks at him. He gets it in the post. He's backing him down. He has his right shoulder on him. He spins back to the left shoulder, bumps him a couple more times, and shoots a little floater with his right hand. It ends up going in. But I'll see that from Keldon from time to time. We're just trying to post up guys that are way bigger than him, and sometimes it works. He's a big, strong guy. He has a decent post game. But the point isn't so much if it works or doesn't work. There's just times from Keldon, at least last season, where I'd see him make plays like that. And I'm just thinking, fuck, dude, kick it back out. Let's swing the ball around and run some offense. And again, it's not to say that Keldon can't make some of those shots. It's just that we have better options we can run offensively. But this whole season long, Keldon's just been a dog on the boards, just a dog on the offensive glass. Again, he's 5 for 9, the 10 points. It seems like 20 minutes is about how much we're trying to play Keldon game in and game out. And he's been spectacular in his new role, just giving us great physicality defensively, great physicality on the glass, just great physicality everywhere. He's a dog coming in off the bench, and he gives us that energy. And he always gave us the energy even last season, but this season, I just love to see how he's playing in that new role for himself. He's totally embraced it. I'm not really seeing him take any bad shots anymore. I take it back every once in a while, but he's cut down on them a whole lot. He's way less turnover prone, and I think he had the basketball IQ last season, but this season he's just really locked in. I love what Keldon's giving us out there. Julian Champagnie, he's 0 for 5 from 3. He has the 3 turnovers, 3 steals as well, but just not a great game from Julian Champagnie. I was about to say when he's not giving us 3-point shooting, he's not giving us a whole lot. And that's true. He's not offensively, but defensively, Champagne's 6'7". He's a solid defender, decent one-on-one defender, and he fits really well into our team scheme defensively. And the three steals kind of goes to show it. He does have the three turnovers, but he steals them right back to get us those extra three possessions. I've been worried about Champagne pretty much all season long, except for it was last game or the game before where he knocked down like six threes. But that's kind of the Champagne experience. I think he's probably shooting 36% from three, something like that. So he's going to be a knockdown 3-point shooter. This is just kind of an outlier. He's going to have nights where he's off shooting at times, but it won't be as glaring as it was last season because we don't need too much from Champagny. I look at him the same way I kind of look at Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes had the 7 points. He only hits 1 3, 2 for 4 from the field. With him and Champagny, again, I look at them in the same way. I don't need those guys to score 15 points for us every single night. I just need probably 2 games in between them. So one for Champagny, one for Harrison Barnes. Say every 5 games, if each of them can give us like one night where they shoot 4 or 5 threes and score 15 points, I feel like that's more than enough for the team. And again, I don't need both of them to do that on the same night. I just need each of those guys to give us every 4 or 5 games, give us 1 or 2 games where you knock down 5 threes and score 15 points. And that'll be more than enough for what the team needs. They just kind of slot into the shooter role because we need 3-point shooting. That's kind of what they do for us out there. So again, I don't need them to be on fire every single game. Just give us a solid game every 4 or 5 and we'll be just fine. Devin Vassell, he's 2 for 4. He has 4 points. He only plays 21 minutes. He would have played 30 plus, but he goes out with a migraine. So it's nothing to be too concerned about. It's not a body injury or anything like that. I'm sure Devin Vassell's probably feeling just fine, at this point. I want to say he has suffered from migraines in his past, but again, he'll be just fine. He, he only played 21 minutes. He wasn't really out there long enough to judge his performance, but 4 points and 4 rebounds, we'll take it. I look at Vassell. He has more on his plate than Julian Champagny and Harrison Barnes, but kind of the same thing with Vassell. I just look for him to give us maybe a 20-point performance one out of every 4 or 5 games. And then there's going to be games where he's just absolutely on fire and he scores 25 plus and wins us a game, almost on his own. But, just like with Barnes and Champagny, we don't need him to be spectacular every single night. We just need him to take 10 plus shots every single night. The only shots I don't like with Vassell is the shots he doesn't take, or if he's having a cold spell and then he kind of stops shooting the ball. But that's one thing I like about Vassell. He always has the green light. He would have taken probably 12 plus shots this game if he would have stayed in the game. And that's pretty much what I want from Devin. I want him to take 10 shots or more every single night, pretty much no matter what. Just confidently get into your jump shot. Devin Vassell, probably like our fourth option offensively. And, it works better because last year we want him to be like our second or third option. And it was just kind of too much on his plate. There have been games this season where Vassell shoots like 5 for 13 from the field and scores 13 points. Last year, we would have been mad at him for that. We'd have been saying, "Oh, what the fuck, Devin? We need you to be more consistent." But this season, with him being the third or fourth option most nights, we don't need him to be so consistent. We just need, like I said again, knock down 4 or 5 threes every 4 or 5 games. Give us a 15, 20-point performance, every 4 or 5 games, and we'll be just fine. We'll save Wemby for last, of course. De'Aaron Fox, swipe has been spectacular. He had a lot of turnovers. He had 6 turnovers. That's a bit concerning. Before Fox came back, I was saying we got to get De'Aaron Fox back. He's going to help us cut down on the turnovers that Stephon Castle has been committing. And I guess he has. I mean, Castle only had 2 turnovers last game. He had 1 turnover this game. He has 11 assists with that 1 turnover in either 3 or 4 of the last 4 games. Stephon Castle has been double digits in assists. Stephon Castle he's a good playmaker in the half court. He's great on the fast break as well. He had some nice lobs to Luke Cornett. He had some nice wraparound passes to Luke Cornett as well. And De'Aaron Fox is helping him. With Stephon Castle, he can bring the ball up the court, but he's not like a 100% all the time point guard. He's a true combo guard where he can play the shooting guard and the point guard. But just with having De'Aaron Fox bring the ball up the court, let Stephon Castle just go down there and save some energy until he gets the ball, that has been giving Stephon Castle some more energy. He's been playing great out there since De'Aaron Fox has came back. Stephon Castle's kind of doing the same things out there. He just has more energy with De'Aaron Fox helping him out. But yeah, I mean, the 6 turnovers, they're a little concerning. I'm not going to freak out about it. He had one where he passes out to the wing. Julian Champagnie, maybe he was supposed to be there. They miscommunicated between the two of them, and De'Aaron Fox kicks out. It goes right out of bounds, and he was kind of like, he kind of shrugged at Champagnie. I don't know if Champagnie was in the wrong place or if De'Aaron Fox was just saying my bad, but that's a turnover that can be corrected. There was another one where he just lost his dribble or he might have gotten stripped. So that's pretty rare to see, but that's not going to happen too much. So, I'm not worried about the turnovers with De'Aaron. He's just getting more used to the offense. Again, he only played maybe 15 games with us last season before he went out with his pinky surgery. So he's just getting more used to playing with all the guys, and the guys are getting more used to playing with him. But his efficiency's been great these last 2 games. He's 8 for 14. I think he was 8 for 13 last game. Gives us the 21 points. He's 1 for 6 from 3. That's pretty much what I want from him. I don't want him to only make 1 3, but I want him to take probably about 5 or 6 threes every game just to keep the defense honest. He does have the 5 assists, the 4 rebounds. No steals this game, but Swipe is going to be getting a lot of steals out there as the season goes on. Um, but yeah, he's just getting more adjusted to being out there. He gives us the 37 minutes. He leads the team in minutes, and we needed those extra minutes out there from De'Aaron Fox. He's just getting his legs back under him, getting his conditioning right, and just getting comfortable being out on the court again. But he's been spectacular as far as I'm concerned. He doesn't even look like he's ever trying hard. He just gets to his spots whenever he wants. He gets into the paint pretty much anytime he wants. What I've noticed about De'Aaron, he gets the free throw line just at will. I'm not talking about getting fouled and shooting free throws, but he'll come off the pick and roll, pick and pop. He just dribbles, gets the defender on his hip, gets right there to the free throw line, keeps his dribble alive, and he's kicking out for open threes on the corner, open threes on the wing, or he has Wemby or Cornette rolling. So once he gets his man on his hip and he dribbles into that free throw line area, he has a lob he can throw. He can kick out to the corner. He can kick out to the wing. He can pull up his mid-range jumper. If there's no help on the back line, he can drive all the way to the rim. So you can see when De'Aaron Fox plays, he's just a real veteran player, and he's going to do nothing but help the team, and we're already seeing it out there. Back to Castle, 19 shots, 19 points on 18 shots, so it's not great efficiency, but I don't really mind Stephon Castle taking his shots. He's 1 for 3 from 3 out there. I just love him always being aggressive out there. There's going to be games where De'Aaron Fox takes more shots than Stephon Castle. I kind of prefer De'Aaron Fox taking the bulk of the shots over Castle, at least once we get to the playoffs and things like that. But in the regular season, I don't mind Castle taking a higher volume of shots. He's trying to develop his mid-range shot. He's trying to develop his 3 ball. He's a really good passer and a really good playmaker in the half court. He's a really good interior passer. One thing I'll notice with Stephon Castle, when he comes off like a pick and roll and he's trying to make those cross-court passes, that's where a lot of his turnovers tend to come from, and it seems like he's really cut down on those. I just saw a lot of good interior passing, especially with him and Cornette, him and Wemby, and as long as he's cutting down on those cross-court passes, at least until he learns how to read the defense better and learn when it's a good time to make those passes. I think Stephon Castle's been really impressive as a playmaker. This is his 3rd double-double in the last 4 games where he has a double-double with points and assists. And again, it's just so impressive. He's an awesome secondary playmaker to have next to De'Aaron Fox. Once Dylan Harper comes back, we're just going to have 3, I won't call all these guys elite point guards, but 3 elite players in terms of getting downhill, getting to the rim, and breaking down the defense. And all 3 of those guys are very good playmakers as well. We already talked about Champagnie. Cornette was great. Jeremy Sohan, he only played 10 minutes this game. I don't know if he was hurt. I don't think he's hurt out there. I don't know what happened. Maybe Mitch Johnson just decided that we look better without Jeremy Sohan in there. Luke Cornette does get the 20 minutes. Keldon gets the 20. So maybe he just decided, for whatever reason, we're going to have a better chance to win this game without playing Jeremy. And I don't think there's anything crazy behind it. It just is what it is. He'll get more minutes next game. His defense looks great when he is out there. His 3-ball doesn't look any better, to be honest. He still has the hitch on his 3-ball. He is shooting the free throws with 2 hands now. I just love Jeremy, to be honest with you. I want to see more development from his offensive game, but he's one of our best playmakers. Just like with Olynyk and Cornet, he's even better than those guys as far as catching the ball in the pick and roll, reading the court, and making the right pass, making the right play in that pick and roll situation. And then he's either our second or third best defender. Of course, Wemby's number one. Then it's Castle and Sohan, and those are our top three defenders. However you want to divvy them up, those are our top three. Every time Lindy Waters shoots a three, I feel like it's wet. He's 1 for 3. He plays 7 minutes. Carter Bryant gets out there for a quick 4 minutes. That's what I like to see from Carter Bryant. I ain't see any insane flashes from him. I think his one bucket, he's cutting on the baseline and he gets a pass from, I think it may have been Cornet or Wemby, but he gets an easy layup on the baseline. It's kind of all I want to see from Carter Bryant. Get him out there for 5 or 10 minutes every game, just depending on how the flow of the game is going. Let him keep getting his feet wet in NBA basketball. He does take the 2 threes. That's what I like. Just get him out there, let him take some jumpers, let him get more comfortable handling the ball and just being on an NBA court. And then finally, we get to Victor Wembanyama, and he was just fucking ridiculous. Wemby has the 38 points. He's 11 for 19 from the field, which is ridiculous. 6 for 9 from three, hits all of his free throws, 12 rebounds, 5 blocks, 3 turnovers. He has the 4 fouls. So that's nice to see him still being aggressive out there and blocking shots without getting himself into foul trouble. Um, Wemby took 9 threes last game. He only made 2 of them. He took 9 threes this game, and he made 6. Early in the season, Wemby was giving players the pump fake at the 3-point line. They were biting on it. Maybe the first 4 or 5 games in the season, then people started saying, this fucking guy's not taking threes anymore. All he wants to do is get down low into the paint, because we made that a focus point for Wemby the first 5, 6, 7 games of the season. Just get down low, bully your way down low as best as you can. They're putting shorter, stockier guys on him, and it was making it harder for Wemby to get down low. That's the best way to guard him, like a 6'7" dude that just has good strength. And then you have that guy get underneath Wemby and try to force him into the big man on the back end. Because if you try to guard him with the big man, we saw it tonight, and he fucking cooked Vucci, man, Nikola Vucevic. The Bulls announcer was calling him Vucci, man. I fucking love it. But Wemby, back to the 3-point shots, he wasn't taking a lot the first 6 or 7 games of the season. He took a few. And these past 2 games, he has 9 attempts both games. And I love the in between. He still shot 10 free throws, so he was being aggressive. In the first half, he was doing a lot to get into the paint. I think he scored 6 points, probably the first 3 minutes of the game or so. He was being aggressive, just getting down low. And he put up again probably 6 points in the first 3 or 4 minutes. He has 18 points in the first half. And that's what I like to see from Wemby. Superstar players, they come out, they start the first quarter out and try to score like a quick 10 points and get their team in a good rhythm. That's what Wemby did. Then the second and third quarter, they kind of coast and get their team involved, let their teammates cook and find their rhythm. That's what Wemby did. And then once you get to the fourth quarter, especially the last 2 or 3 minutes of the fourth quarter, if you're a superstar offensive player, you got to go out there and try to take over the game. And that's exactly what Wemby did. It was so nasty. The breakaway three, he's coming down on the fast break, steps right in and shoots a three in Vucevic's face. And then he has the one at the end. I loved it. Harrison Barnes is trying to come up and set a screen. Somebody else came up and tried to set a screen for Wemby. He waves him off. He reminded me of Kobe Bryant on that play. Just waves him off, gets the ISO of Vucevic, hits him he goes between the legs and crosses over right to left and just pops it right in his face. It looked like Kevin Durant out there. It was so great. But yeah, Wemby's performance was amazing. Back to the 3-point shooting. I want to see Wemby take 9 or 10 threes, maybe like three out of every 10 games. I don't know if it doesn't have to be an exact number, but I want to see him take a higher volume of threes, like 7+ threes, and do that again every 3 to 5 games, something like that. Because like I was saying earlier, people weren't really biting on the pump fake because people knew Wemby doesn't really want to take that three. He's focusing on getting down low. So people weren't biting on the pump fake. So he can still shoot 3 balls, obviously. He's a good 3-point shooter. But that's why he came out these past 2 games and he's taken 9 attempts these past 2 games, found his rhythm in this game and knocked down 6 of them. I have no problem with Wemby taking 3 balls. Again, I think he should take a high volume of threes every 3 to 5 games just to keep the defense honest, and that way his pump fake at the 3-point line will be even more effective. He's been doing a beautiful job just adjusting his game. Like I said before, the first 7 games of the season or so, just attacking the paint, trying to get down low, and then teams adjusted to that, so they're giving him more room at the 3-point line. So now these past 2 games, maybe next game too, depending on how they play him, he's taking a high volume of threes, and he knocks down 6 this game. So next game, when he does that pump fake behind the 3-point line, they're going to have to press up, and he's going to fly right by and get back into the paint again. One thing I saw from Wemby, I've been seeing it all season, when he beats that first player off the dribble, he's kind of out of control. The next thing for him to learn is beat that first player off the dribble. You're past them and then kind of slow down as you get into the paint. It was Trey Jones. Trey Jones drew a charge on Victor Wembanyama. That's the thing. Once Wemby gets past that first guy, I want to see him develop like a Euro step or a deceleration step. He does have those moves in his bag, but he's getting better at making that second read once he beats his first defender off of the dribble. I had something else about Wemby, his 3-point shooting. Oh yeah, my favorite spot on the court for Wemby to touch the ball is like right there at the free throw line in that kind of Kevin Durant, Dirk Nowitzki area, right there at the elbow. He had a beautiful move on Nikola Vucevic. He caught it at the free throw line, hits him with a little jab step, a pump fake, then he goes off the dribble. He bumps him with his left shoulder. Wemby spins around, and then he shoots a fadeaway, like a Dirk Nowitzki fadeaway off 1 foot, but he took 2 steps back and shoots the fadeaway right over Vucevic, but he bumps him with his left shoulder. Nikola backs up a little bit, spins, takes like 2 steps back and falls away with that 1 foot fadeaway, and it ends up rolling in. And I feel like Wemby could shoot like fucking 60% on that shot if he really got to that spot all game long. Just a matter of him getting better at getting to his spots, and then our teammates getting better at giving him the ball in the spots for him to be successful. But I noticed this game, they weren't really doubling Wemby that much. He ends up with 38 points. It's going to be a lot harder to double Wemby these days because if you double Wemby on this side of the court, De'Aaron Fox is over there on the weak side of the court. We're going to swing the ball, and then De'Aaron Fox is attacking closeouts. And then, Stephon Castle's getting better and better at that. And you just kind of have to pick your poison with the Spurs at this point. But just a great win against the Bulls. We're down 13 points with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and I'm thinking, fuck, we might lose this game. Then I thought to myself, nah, this is cool. I've seen us up double digits going into the fourth quarter, then almost blow those leads. So it'll be cool to see how we play when we're down double digits in the fourth quarter. And, we played great. Wemby brought it home at the end, makes all sorts of clutch plays. He had a huge block on Trey Jones down the stretch as well before he shot that 3 on Vucevic. But just an amazing team win. Everyone looked great out there. And I'm just excited for us to get Dylan Harper back so we can really see how our entire team looks when we're healthy. But please like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 7 million subscribers. Let me know what you thought about the Spurs win. Let me know what you think about our glorious king, Victor Wembanyama. And we'll see y'all next time. Peace.